There are moments in life when you feel so lost, completely overwhelmed, or just unsure if you can keep going. But sometimes all it takes is one powerful story to ignite that blazing spark deep within you that turns it all around. Welcome to Beyond Average Success. Today, I'm sharing three of those inspiring stories that have the power to change everything for you. I found these stories to be so profound and valuable, I wanted to share them with the community so that others can utilize them to help with their own self improvement journey as they've helped me. The first story is called The Eagle and the Crow. The story goes like this: A crow sits upon the back of an eagle. The crow bites at the eagle's neck while it flies, high up into the sky. The story says that the only bird that would dare peck at an eagle is the crow. Now, I want you to listen to this. The eagle doesn't respond or fight with the crow. It simply opens up its wings and begins to fly higher and higher into the sky. The higher the eagle flies, the harder it is for the crow to breathe. Then, due to lack of oxygen, the crow falls away and the eagle is free. What's the moral of the story? Don't waste your time with the crows of life. Instead of engaging with people or situations that try to bring you down, you should rise above them. Focus on your goals and elevate yourself to a level where distractions and negative influences can no longer reach you. It's about conserving your energy for what truly matters and not letting the small things drag you down. The second story is called The Frog and Boiling Water. The story goes like this: If you place a frog in a pot of boiling water, it will immediately jump out to save its life. But if you place the same frog in a pot of room temperature water and slowly heat it up, the frog will remain in the pot. Even when the water starts to boil, the frog will stay there and ultimately boil to death. Now you may be thinking, frogs are stupid. But don't we all do that to some degree? You spend too long in a relationship, in a business, or in a job, even a friendship. At the start, yeah, it was good. Then slowly, over time, it started dying. You should have jumped out or made changes a long time ago. Now you're dying inside like the frog. Too often we get stuck in our comfortable lives. It gets so comfortable and so familiar that even when we may be miserable, we stay because at least the misery is familiar. This metaphor teaches an important lesson about how people often tolerate small negative changes or unhealthy habits, thinking they're harmless. Over time, these small issues compound, trapping you in a destructive cycle. It serves as a reminder to stay vigilant and to recognize warning signs early so that you can take action before things get out of control. In self improvement, it means paying attention to the gradual shifts in your life and course correcting before it's too late. The third story is called An Old Watch and Self Worth. The story goes like this: Before he died, a father said to his son, "Here is a watch that your grandfather gave me. It's almost 200 years old. Before I give it to you, go to the jewelry store and tell them you want to sell it. See how much they offer you." The son went to the jewelry store and then came back to his father and said, "They only offered $100 because it's so old." The father said, "We'll try the pawn shop." The son went to the pawn shop and came back to his father and said, "The pawn shop offered only $20 because it has a scratch." The father asked his son to go to the museum and show them the watch. The son quietly questioned his father's judgment, but still willing to act upon his father's last wishes, he went to the museum, and when he came back, he said to his father, "The curator offered $375,000 for this rare piece to be included in their precious antique collection." The father responded, "I wanted to show you that the right place will value you in the right way. Don't find yourself in the wrong place and get angry because you are not valued. Never stay in a place where someone doesn't see your value or you don't feel appreciated. If you don't know your value, then you will always settle for far less than you deserve." The lesson here is simple yet profound. Your value doesn't change based on who is judging you. The story reminds us to recognize our worth and not let the opinion of others define us. If people around you don't recognize your value, it may be time to find a place where you're appreciated and celebrated for who you truly are. Thank you for joining us today. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You're not alone on this journey. Here at Beyond Average Success, you'll find community, support, and inspiration as you pursue your goals. Remember, success is not a destination. It's a way of life. So keep learning, keep growing, keep believing in yourself, and you will certainly achieve beyond average success.